Jason McMillan here with Keep Calm and Train Your Rookie. Today we're going to talk about testing hydrants. First of all, I want you folks to realize this page has fans all across North America and some fans even overseas. I understand that some fire departments do not test hydrants. Sometimes the water department, which is a municipality, or a water district, which is a government organization, they're responsible for testing the hydrants. I understand that sometimes you have a privately owned water system and they test the hydrants. Also, the sad reality is there's a lot of places, regardless of who owns the water system and the hydrants, they don't test them at all. So case in point, in my city, the fire department tests the hydrants for the water department of the municipal water system. This is how we do it. First of all, we have a map book, and the map book is broken into FMAs, fire management areas. Each rig and shift is assigned a fire management area, and we're responsible for pre-plans and hydrant maintenance, basic hydrant maintenance inside of that FMA. I have a sample of it here. I've got hydrants, I have mains all marked out, and I have a corresponding page for each hydrant in the book, and I document certain things. We'll talk about what we're going to document here as we go ahead and test. So I'm going to take over the camera, I'm going to have my boys get working, and I'll walk through it. This is how we do it, and this works really well for us. It's very efficient. We're going to take all three caps off, both the 2.5 side discharges and the steamer. We're going to take all the caps off. Once the caps are on the ground, Simmons there is going to grab some lubricant, and he's going to put a dab of lubricant on the threads inside of each cap. While that's going on, Andrew is brushing any debris off of the male threads on the hydrant. Notice he's just putting a dab of lubricant inside each thread. You don't need a lot. Like the old hair cream commercial says, a little dab will do you. As you screw those caps back on there, it will lubricate the whole assembly. The other nice thing for us about testing the hydrants inside your FMA is part of your first due district, so you're out getting the familiarity of the layout of your subdivisions, of your commercial areas, and you're also learning where the hydrants are. That can be very important information operationally. We've got a side discharge covered, and we've got the steamer covered. Notice that the 2.5 we're going to flow goes out into the street. It's not going to tear up any holes in the grass. Our first step is we are going to be applying our static gauge. We're going to measure the static pressure in the system at this point. You do not have to do the full 14 turns to open up and take a static. You just need to get water flowing, regardless of the size of the opening in the hydrant. Static pressure is always the same. Go. There we go. Good steady stream, air's out. We close it and we count to 5. The hydrant's still open. We count to 5 to make sure any bouncing has come out. We've got a constant pressure. We're going to call that what do we got there? 48. So we're going to document 48. Andrew's going to go ahead and shut the hydrant all the way off. Now go ahead and pop off there you go. That way we're not under vacuum. There you go, Andrew. This is Andrew's first year testing hydrants. You're learning how we do it at the same time he does. Okay. Now we're going to apply the pitot. A Springfield hydrant for us, a couple things you're going to notice. It looks like he's turning the hydrant backwards. That's normal for my department. Our city has some intricacies that's different than everybody else. Notice he's turning it pretty slow. We don't water hammer. I also want you to notice the nut on top. The nut on top is actually a 4-point, not a 5-point like most hydrants. And our hydrants intentionally open backwards. Counting to 5.
35.
Yeah, we'll call that 35. Go ahead and shut her down. That number 35 gets put down in our sheet. When I take the static pressure and the flow and I put it in the computer, it tells us what the rated flow for this hydrant would be out of the entire barrel of the hydrant. Here's our hydrant kit. Notice it's got 4 colors in it of spray paint. I would also double check. I have a chart that tells us our approximate flow, not our exact flow. And if I need to change the colors of the hydrant, what we would do is we would actually use spray paint and change this color here. This is a green hydrant, which tells us that it flows between 1,000 and 1,499 gallons per minute. Right now, Andrew's got the palm of his hand. It's over the discharge. He should feel a gentle pull against his glove. That means that the hydrant drain at the bottom is working, and we don't have to worry about ice sitting in the bottom of the hydrant freezing and causing problems. One last thing that we do, we put our caps back on, and we use the wrench to tighten it, but we use it very, very gently. We do not crank them down. This is a sample of how my department does hydrants. I've said before in some of our other videos that my particular city, we always get 100% of our points for ISO for water supply. One of the reasons that we get all those points is not only do we have good hydrants, we actually prove that we have good hydrants. Again, your department may do things differently, or no one may do anything about your hydrants. Regardless, this is just a sample. If you want, like the page, share the page, leave comments below. Thanks.